You're good.
All right, good afternoon. We are going to start the special commissioners meeting. We'll go ahead and do the pledge of allegiance to the normally do. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we need a single item of business on the agenda today, and that's to do with the highway department. We'll let Superintendent of Highway come up, Mr. Burke.
Good afternoon, Steve Berg with County Highway. The other day I spent some time talking with some friends about some memories from long ago, like the Rustic, the Drawbridge Pizza, Don's Burger Barn on 15th in Kellerville, and the Family Drive-In Theater, just to name a few. And although they're no longer here with us, their presence has left a lasting impression on me and many of us who may have had experiences with such places before. As their time has come and gone, it brings to mind that we all have time to do good things and leave lasting impressions for the future. After much thought, I feel it's time to officially announce my retirement on the last day of the year, which would be December 31st of this year. My wife and I plan to travel some, visit family, and enjoy life. This year's work plan won't change. However, I do plan to spend the balance of the year focused on training my successor for a smooth transition and everything goes fine. So over the past 23 years, I've had the pleasure of working with and meeting some fantastic people. I was heavily involved with our state association and served as board president in 2016. I had the pleasure of working with a great many leaders in the industry. I'm thankful for the relationships that we built statewide with my associates and counterparts, particularly those on the local level. I value the relationships I have with our current and past state representatives and senators as we've worked together on a few things, and value their time and commitment to their jobs as well. I appreciate the valued friendships I made with our engineering consultants and material vendors throughout the years, as they have taught me so much and we worked so well together. I value the close involvement that we enjoy with our neighboring counties, one of them being Orange County, where we have worked together on certain projects to help each other out. The same could also be said of the relationships that were built within our own county, particularly those in Jasper and Huntingburg, where we've worked together occasionally on projects, borrowed equipment from each other in times of need. And I'd like to thank their political leadership and department heads, past and present, and the commissioners as well, for helping make this possible and keeping it simple. I value the relationships that we have with all of the departments within our county, as we've been there for each other while we navigate through the world of local government. I consider many of you who continue to serve and many who have already retired to be valued friends. And I want to thank Sandy for always being there. You've been a good friend.
It's been a pleasure working with you.
I'm thankful to all current and past members of the county commissioners and county council, as together we've accomplished much to support our communities. I truly value our ability to work closely as we're all involved in this together. I've been blessed to work with a fantastic and supporting staff and crew. Over the years, we've grown our skills and have made a real difference in what we do to try to keep our roads safe and performing well. I'm proud of you all, and thanks for your help. And finally, I want to thank my wife for being there for me. She's been my rock. As we've dealt with many storms that weather and certain phone calls can bring to our area here, without her, I couldn't be me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Burke.
Thank you very much.
say on my part, it's been a pleasure working with you the last 7+ years. We have a road system and a department that we can be proud of and that the citizens can be proud of. As we always say, and we've said for many years, that we have, the output and the work that you, under your leadership, has gone on has been high quality and top notch. And myself, and I'm sure the community as a whole are grateful to have roads that are safe and just high quality. It improves the quality of everyone's life. I appreciate your input to that. And I hope that retirement is everything you expect and everything that you want.
Yeah, I think it will.
And congratulations on having a wonderful wife. And that's serious, because there's a lot of things that you don't know. It might be any Wednesday night, there could be an emergency, there could be something, you're called in, and that disrupts what's going on at home. So to have understanding, supporting people to help you as possible.
She's made it livable, and just without her support, it would just have been, tough. And I appreciate that, and all of you.
Does have a comment?
Well, we've appreciated you all these years, and I think I may have told you before, but I want to say it again, you've made my job as a commissioner easier. Just knowing that we had you out there, you've always done a wonderful job. It's appreciated.
Thank you.
You're just a phone call away.
Yeah.
Anytime I ever call, you're just right there whenever I need you to talk through or be there when I need you. Just a heartfelt thank you. We do appreciate you very much. And happy retirement. You deserve it.
Anyone else? All right, well, thank you. And you still have many months to put up with us.
Yes.
I hope you're not going out on a date or the big snowstorm.
Nope.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So with the importance of this position and the hole that we're gonna have to fill as a board, I think it's appropriate that we have an interim person fill in this superintendent position. They're not actually filling it in, but working side by side with the current superintendent and on an interim basis. And then if the training and all of that goes well over the next 4 or 5 months, then at that point we can officially appoint this person to succeed Mr. Berg starting in January 1st. So I think it's appropriate and prudent for this board to do that, and we can have a discussion about how do we do that now. If the board is open to that. The commissioners have had a pretty good idea that this was coming. Mr. Berg let us in previously, and we've done some interviews and some second rounds of interviews, and we've had some high quality candidates that put their name forward. So we appreciate that, and we appreciate getting to know them a little better and to hear their vision for taking the department forward. So I think we've had this down to a couple people, and I'm not sure how we want to proceed. I mean, I have a person I would put forth. I think other people may as well. So I'm not sure the best way to proceed. Does anybody have another comment, or should we just put some names on the table and have a discussion?
Let's just start the discussion.
Okay, well, is that okay with you, Commissioner?
Sure.
So, I think that in my opinion, the best person to move this, to take over and to move this department forward is Donnie Leakin. I think he's shown himself to be a good employee for the years that he's been with us. He's had some leadership skills that he's shown. He interviewed very well, and I appreciate what his vision for the future of the department is. So that would be, that's where I would like to start the discussion. I would appreciate having that man step into the interim role to see if, once the training progresses, if he's the right person to fill it in. Commissioner Hostetter?
I don't disagree with you on the supervisor aspect of it. There was an idea that was floated about creating a department head position. Wenthold had floated that idea. I do like that idea. I feel like if Steve had left this position abruptly, we'd have been all leaning on Brent very heavily. I do agree with Donnie as the supervisor, but I do believe Donnie's also going to lean very heavily on Brent for quite a while. And as department head, Brent would have the final say in some of the things that go on out there, and I would like to go that direction.
I would love an easy transition. We had some great applicants, great interviews. I would like to see an easy transition of Steve going out as into retirement, and I'd like to see Jason DeKemper into that position. An easy transition, easy slide. That's how I feel.
What about the second part of what Mr. Hostetter said about department head? Do you have a comment on that? Of having those, having that as a separated position?
I'd like to see Brent in his current position. He's on different boards and committees and things like that. Like I said, I would like to see the easy transition of Jason moving into that and Brent staying where he is.
So as we've discussed these things, we had an executive session where we discussed some of this information because it deals with the department head and, an important employment decision. Since that time, I've also thought about what Commissioner Hostetter has said, and I think one of the main concerns for me, and we've discussed it with people, is having a single point of contact at the highway department. And I think I would agree at this time, that person that I would like to be the single point of contact would be Brent Wenthold as well, a county engineer. One of the problems that or an issue that we've discussed is Mr. Wenthold has a lot on his plate. He's got a lot on his back, however you want to, whatever phrase you want to use. And we say, well, do we really want to put something else on there? Do we want to say, the superintendent used to have these roles, now you're going to take over some of them? And if we did do that, how would that work? And I think if we took some of the roles from the superintendent and gave them to the engineer, that'd be a load that probably would be too much. And it could take away from the good, high quality work he's doing already.
Awesome.
So as I've thought about this further, I think if we change none of the job roles as they sit, other than maybe rewording them to say that those two positions work closely together, that it's not that any one person does the budget all by themselves or does the planning all by themselves. They would so coordinate with the other person to make those things happen. I'm having a hard time getting this out, but I think what I'm saying is I would think that we could change no job responsibilities and just have that department head be the one person, the one point of contact that we say, when a final decision has to be made, and in the rare cases where you don't agree, it would fall to that person. I know we've been really lucky here between the work that the council or the commissioners do with the auditor's office and the treasurer's office and everybody seems to be getting along. And currently these two have worked really well together.
Absolutely.
They each have their roles, and
Absolutely.
it's never come to my attention that there's been an impasse and it's been, I want this, we want this. They find a way to work together and find the best solution for the department. They keep egos to the side and they find the best solution. That being said, I still think it'd be nice to have one person who has the final say for the department. So I too would probably like to go that route. I don't know that we have to make that decision necessarily today, but how do you feel about what I just rambled
Well,
on?
that's exactly how I kind of envisioned it, that the roles wouldn't necessarily change. The only difference would be that there would be one person
Contact
that
person.
kind of has that final say. I think they still have to work very closely together. They still have to, for the most part, agree on things because they're going to work so close together. So it's not going to change that much. It's just a matter of that final, buck stops here person. And I like that idea, that single point of contact.
Okay. So is the board okay with maybe putting that decision on at a later time for another commissioners meeting and just making a selection for the interim superintendent person for today's business?
Or you can make a final decision, it's up to you. I mean,
Yeah.
the sooner we get this person in there and trading with Steve, the better.
Right.
Okay, so I don't feel like my decision on who I would put forth the supervisor would change. So I would be comfortable with doing that today. I think that would give us some time to further discuss and maybe hammer out the details of the department head position if we could do that at a later date.
I agree, because there may, us having this conversation, somebody out in the public or somebody at the department may say, have you thought about this?
Right.
And maybe there's something we haven't thought about, and it's not gonna change because we're gonna keep the same basically two department heads moving forward, at least through the end of the year. So I think that would be okay. That being said, I'll make the motion that we select Donnie Leakin to be the next, to be in line as the interim superintendent until we make a final determination in December with the appointment.
Second.
Is there any other discussion that we need to have before we vote on the matter? None? None for you, Mr. Oswald? None for myself? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed to the motion, same sign? One. So the motion carries 2-1. Is there any other
So
business?
this is an appointment.
Well, it will eventually be an appointment. Mr. Berg's the appointment until the end of the year. And then in December, we will have to make an appointment for next year. So this is an interim selection.
Supervisor trainee.
So we're not hiring a new person, we're using a person that's internal that will be changing some of their job as they train. Did I say that how the board's intended? I think so, yeah. Is there any other business related to the highway department, to Mr. Berg, or to the transition? It's the only business we're gonna
So
have today.
the pay and everything will stay the same.
Yes.
And the job classification remains.
He's still gonna be serving as a District 1 foreman.
Okay.
But he'll be under training through that period.
So we'll have to discuss the budget for this position for next year, but as far as for right now, he stays as his foreman position. Mr. Berg stays as a superintendent position. So nothing changes for those staff now, but they may for next year. All right, seeing no other business, I'll close the meeting.